Caitlin.
Hi, Cassie.
Hi, creepy people.
Hello.
If you're new to our creepy corner of the world, this is PNW, Haunts and Homicides, where we chat about true crime, or would it be this way? Because we're side by side, but she's across from me.
Yeah.
Where we all chat about true crime, the paranormal, and all kinds of spooky, creepy, weird shit in the Pacific Northwest.
That we do. We also do a tarot reading at the end of every episode for a little bit of deeper insight into our topic for the day.
We do, and occasionally forget to say PNW if you're nasty.
I know. I said it when I recorded with Christina. I was like,
You
oh, I
did?
have to do this because otherwise Cassie will be so mad.
I'm pissed right now.
PNW.
If you are nasty.
Yeah.
It's my episode.
It is. I know. I was like, what?
Which is why we're drinking blood. My lights look like fire.
They do.
Yeah. And I'm wearing this beautiful shirt.
Satan loves you for who you are.
So true, right?
Cute. Cute.
So this recording actually got delayed because
A little bit.
someone likes to get sick a lot during the winter.
I mean, back to back.
Yeah.
That was
Back to
wild.
back. Immune system goes down and it's just all shit breaks loose. But getting better. My lips are coming back online. They were very chapped. We've been talking about the nipple cream I have to use on my lips.
Yeah, that's a new one for me, I gotta say.
It took a lot of Googling, but apparently mama nursing nipple cream because their little ninnies get chapped from the baby suckles or whatever happens.
I can only imagine.
Ouch. Ugh. Sorry if that's ever happened to you.
Yeah.
I'm deeply sorry. But anyway, the nipple cream, it's made from like sheep fat or some shit.
Yeah.
And it works like almost overnight. It was crazy.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So if you're having chappy lippy troubles, lanolin cream, I think it's called, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's great. Anyway, the point of this conversation was we were supposed to do this episode. We were going to do it remote because I was house sitting.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have had all the stuff that I brought with me today because I don't know, I wasn't thinking about it or I didn't want to like pack it all with me. So I brought a bunch of fun stuff today and I don't know, I'm kind of glad it got postponed a little bit. It worked out.
Yeah.
Things work out. One of the things you can't really tell what it is, but you'll get to see it in the altar later. This is my Taylor Swift candle.
Ew. I forget, what are those called? It's like there's a name for that.
They're like prayer candles, I think. Something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's got a cross. She's like kind of like Mother Teresa style. Is that what it is? Or Mary?
Well,
Mary. That's what I'm thinking
Mother
of.
Mary or
Yeah.
I mean, you'll
Not Mother
see.
Teresa, my bad.
Yeah.
Wrong one.
Yeah, it turns out we probably wouldn't put her on one of those candles.
I didn't know.
I know. Yeah, and I'm not super familiar with it, so I won't
Me
even.
neither.
I'm not even going to go there.
I heard it in passing and I was like, I don't want to know anymore.
Yeah,
Shut down.
really ruining my day.
Oh, man. Anyway, so what are we talking about today?
I don't know.
This topic is something that's like always totally fascinated me, but I don't necessarily believe in it.
Okay.
So I know some of you might, and that's totally valid and totally fine. And you maybe
she's maintaining healthy skepticism. Okay.
It's just my personal shit. And I'll kind of explain it, kind of going through some of this stuff. But if you're kind of spooked out by the D word, demon, not dick.
Oh, okay.
Some people spooked out by dicks, which is valid.
That's also valid though. Yeah.
So if you want to listen, take whatever protective measures you want. Wrap it before you tap it. No, but if you want to have like protective crystals around you or just maybe set your intentions, we'll set intentions right now. Just in case nothing evil is allowed in this room, nothing is allowed to stay and fuck with us. Don't touch her. You can touch me all you want. But yeah,
I think I need to go shopping.
What kind of crystal did you grab?
This is just the one that I keep on the desk because it's It's one of the palm stone
Yeah.
style, and it's small, so it's easy for me to just have it within arm's reach. Um, I forget what this one
Fondle
is.
it. Is it
Yeah.
like some kind of jasper?
I think I want to say lapis,
Oh,
but I
because
I'm not
I
totally
feel
sure.
like it looks like a mixture of
It kind of does.
interesting.
Yeah.
That's really pretty.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. So we're safe. We're protected. Nothing is allowed to bother us. Just I'm putting my foot down right now. Okay. And that's how it works. That's how you do it.
All right.
But if you feel like you need to skip some of this stuff, feel free.
Okay.
Go listen to another episode or wait for one of Caitlin's because those aren't evil at all.
Yeah. And then, on the next one of mine, we'll talk about how, putting your foot down famously is a great way to lose a foot. I guess we'll see.
What?
I'm like, oh, putting your foot down. That's like, those are strong. Those are fighting words.
Did
I'm
I
like,
pick up on some vibes? And I'm wearing my anti-possession bracelet. Well, it's my supernatural bracelet with a little anti-possession charm.
Ooh.
It says jerk on it. Brittany has the one that says bitch.
I love it.
So I have the little anti-possession charm on my bracelet. And then I also have that tattooed on my body, on my ribs. So I can never be possessed by a demon.
Ouch.
I think, Kaylin, you need to get one. Then I think it would make you feel a lot safer.
Yeah.
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 She doesn't have tattoos.
I do not.
Well,
No.
so why are we talking about demons today? Why did I bring up possession? Well, today we're going to talk about exorcism.
Oh. Well, this is one of my no-no buttons.
I think you'll feel a lot better about this when I finish.
Okay.
I think you will.
Yeah. Famously, I always feel better after Cassie's episodes.
I don't know. I feel like I try to talk about things in a logical way and I don't try to just scare the poop out of people. I try to scare you and also give you valid things that also could be happening.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, I don't think it's your fault. It's, just a natural state of being for me.
I know. I try to be gentle with you, but I just can't all the time. We gotta go down this exorcism path. Exorcism escalator, if you will.
Ooh.
So exorcism is the expulsion or attempted expulsion of a supposed evil spirit from a person, place, or object.
Okay.
So we've talked about ways you can kind of clear out bad energy with smoke, crystals, sound, and words like I just did. I put my foot down and said, no, you can't. Exorcisms are basically just an advanced form of cleansing and a very, kind of cleansing a very intense negative energy or a demon as it's thought of.
Yeah. Thinking about it that way makes it a little bit less intimidating.
Right? That's what I thought. They're just like really cleansing the shit out of something,
Cleansing the living fuck out of you.
Study.com defines demon as, quote, a supernatural being with often malevolent or evil intentions. They are usually described as trying to influence humans away from good and direct them towards evil.
Oh.
Which is like, we'll talk about it a little later, but what is evil? A lot of people's definition of evil is very different.
It's true. But I feel like for most of us, it's sort of like porn, like they said in I think it was a congressional hearing. You know it when you see it.
You know evil when you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, porn's not evil unless it's the evil kind. So.
Exactly. Yeah. But you'll know it when you see it.
Maybe. But really, it definitely depends on who you are and what your beliefs are. So
yeah,
my definition of things that are evil or things that are good are other people's definition of things that are evil. So
two things can be true.
Well, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
We'll see. I have some fighting words for some people later on. So the earliest known exorcisms took place in Mesopotamia. So literally since the beginning of civilization.
The cradle.
Yeah. We've been trying to tell evil to get fucked.
Okay. Wow.
When Christianity came around, anyone who believed anything different, like paganism, was evil and therefore must be exorcised.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not always the most open-minded of folk.
No. So like paganism, they're just minding their own business. Or I mean, pagans were just minding their
Yeah.
own business. And all of a sudden this new religion comes around and they're being told that they are evil now. So
Yeah.
whose definition of evil is right?
Hard to say. I feel like when you're the new guy on the block, though, probably don't go and knock on your neighbor's doors and be like, you're evil. You're supposed to like bring over a batch of
Right.
cookies or something.
They
That's a
didn't,
nicer
they
intro.
didn't do that. They just try
Yeah.
to steal it all for themselves and then wipe it all clean.
Yeah. Not a strong strategy, I
It
feel
didn't
like.
work. It worked for the time and it worked for a long time, but it's coming back and it's going to bite you guys in the ass.
Karma. Now I see why T Swift is
Karma.
here.
Yeah. I love that song. We should start playing it.
I'm putting it all together, you guys.
It just all connects. That wasn't even purposeful, I
Yeah.
even like last minute just was scanning my room for anything else to bring and like my eyes landed on the T Swift prayer candle and I was like, holy shit, that's perfect. Literally, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Listen, if anybody was going to give me an exorcism, if Taylor Swift was involved, I do think I would feel better than not.
Taylor, please exorcise my demons.
Yeah.
That's like a line from one of her newer songs.
Mm-hmm. All right.
She might be an exorcist.
Yeah.
We might be onto some shit, you guys.
All right.
So the ritual is typically performed by trained professionals, not trained professionals, not in choo-choo engineers.
Choo-choo. Oh, why is that the choo-choo? I
Choo-choo.
beg
don't
your
know.
pardon.
Don't you
because you're like pulling the...
choo-choo. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I see why, but I feel like it needs to be more of a very clearly reaching from up high.
Pulling Jesus down.
Yeah.
Not jerking him off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I need a little drink after that. I don't know. Sometimes I do things and I don't know where it comes from.
Possibly a diamond.
Dude, this is the blood of Christ.
The power of Christ compels you.
What is that called? The
Sacrament?
Communion? Is that the same thing?
Yeah, I think that's the Holy Sacrament.
We need the body. We need some bread up in this bitch. You got some garlic bread?
I have breads that could be made garlicky. Oh, I do have those garlic boats.
Let's eat garlic Jesus.
Listen, I don't know who's making who better, but that's a winning combo.
I think so.
Yeah. We should alert the Pagans for Jesus Club.
Oh, okay. Is that a thing?
Yeah. Don't you remember? That was from when we did an episode with Matt and Andrea.
Oh, they didn't just make that up.
Andrea. No, that was like when we were recording and they were talking about how they grew up very religious and they're both obviously super witchy. And we were like, oh, it just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Pagans for Jesus.
They're from Am I Right Witches?
Yes.
Which I love.
Yes.
Okay. I got distracted by Jesus. Okay, so I was saying the ritual is typically performed by trained professionals of an organized religion. And I'm sure most of us think like Christian or Catholic, but many other religions utilize this practice as well. Like Bishop Cloud, who used to live in Medford, Oregon of the time I was researching this or reading the research for this. I don't know if he still lives there or not.
Okay.
Who has been an exorcist for over 20 years.
Okay.
He started as a priest with the Anglican. I think it's Anglican.
How's it spelled?
I might have spelled it wrong. Anglican.
Anglican.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is an Anglican.
Yeah.
That's not right.
It's
Anglican.
Kind of it's like another word for white, basically.
I knew this word.
He's a bishop. So like a bishop is like a ranking within, I don't know about Christian, but within the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the way
and other churches apparently we'll keep talking about it. There's more information. I just
oh man, that's
stuttered over my words.
No,
here.
it's like when they start throwing in some of that terminology, it gets really confusing.
Yeah. He started as a priest with the Anglican Church, which is a branch of Christianity, for 10 years before being kicked out for carrying out exorcisms without permission from the church.
Oh, yeah. They do want you to ask permission, but they will typically say no.
Yeah. It's like very uncommon to actually go through with all of this.
Yes. Yeah. I hear they basically say no to everybody.
Yeah. Unless they don't and they nail people to floors and watch them bleed out. It's fine. We're not going to go totally deep down on the really, really bad exorcisms. We're not going there today.
Okay.
But I just touched on it. That shit, has happened.
I don't like
This is pretty tame.
Okay.
Now he's joined up with the old Catholics who are actually not a part of the Roman Catholic Church.
Oh.
Yeah. Cloud is now an archbishop for Advent International's Order of Exorcists and an affiliated member of the Sacred Order of St. Michael and the Archangel's Order of Exorcists.
That's a lot of words.
It's a lot of things, which none of them are actually associated with,
the Catholic Church.
Catholic Church.
Like as we think of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like its own.
The Pope's
thing.
like, nah.
It's still like an organized religion. It's just separate. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. The Pope was like,
nah.
So here is someone who is part of an organized religion, but not an official member of the big official. I said official a bunch of times. I called it the big official Catholic Papa Bear.
Papa Bear? I mean, it's
Papa Bear.
Yeah, it's like part of like the same umbrella, but it's like almost like when you look at a family tree and like you have your mom's side, your dad's side, like they're over there,
Yeah.
and the Pope's over here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know who you are. I don't
know her.
I don't fuck with that. But Cloud believes his life's calling is relieving people from torment of demonic possession.
I mean, I guess it's a crazy job. Somebody's got to do it, maybe?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
I guess it's what he's really called to. And he is extremely serious about his work, saying, quote, I am here to kick ass and take names. I am there as a soldier. I am going into battle.
Okay.
So he really believes.
He's on it.
And he thinks he's helping people.
He is on one.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, maybe.
He does not charge for the service, thankfully. So at least there is this thing where he doesn't charge for it. He is just trying to help you.
Usually with stuff like this, I've heard it's like donation based.
Oh, interesting.
Almost like, you don't have to tip your waiter, but everybody knows you should.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't either. Nothing
maybe
about
he
that
refuses tips.
Maybe. Nothing was mentioned in any of the stuff I researched. So I really couldn't answer that question for you. But he was set down this path perhaps as young as 4 when he started to see shadow people.
Whoa.
So he's been seeing shit since he was little. So that makes sense that if you have seen things that you aren't sure about or that you think are paranormal, supernatural, that you might be set down this path.
Yeah.
Especially if you think it's evil.
Definitely. Have I ever told you the story about when I saw someone?
What? What are you talking about?
When I was like a little kid.
You did?
Yes. Okay. So I was listening to And That's Why We Drink the other day. And Christine was talking about how Leona, her daughter, I think is like 3 now. And she turned to her and she had been like sitting there at the table coloring. And Christine was like, I don't know, just doing something around the house. And Leona says, where is that lady going?
Never have kids.
And she was like, I thought maybe she was seeing like something else. I was misunderstanding how she had phrased the question. I thought she had said like, where is that lady coming from or something like, and maybe she couldn't quite articulate like what she was trying to ask. But no, her daughter was like, oh yeah, like she's the wife. It's like my friend, that's his wife. And she was like, your friend? And so she goes into a whole thing where she was basically saying like, okay, well, you guys can be friends, but if he ever makes you unhappy, like it's okay to tell him, and you need to tell me, and da 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 da. Just basically like walking her child, just trying not to traumatize her
Yeah.
by like being like, oh, that's not real, or
Yeah.
invalidating her
Yeah.
basically.
Because that's a big thing. Either
Yeah.
like being too scared, like making it a scary
Yes.
thing, or making it just like invalid.
Exactly. And she's too young probably to understand. And Christine was talking about how she, I think it was a medium friend of hers that said, oh, she's not really like awake yet. She doesn't
Mhm.
really realize what, like some of what she's seeing or whatever, but like she will in like a few years or something. And I was like, what?
Oh my gosh.
And it reminded me of this time where at our apartment, I had a little like loft bedroom, and my brother had his room downstairs next to my parents' room. And I remember looking over at my mom and I was like, Mom, who's that guy? And she freaked because she was like, what guy? Because she saw me like looking down the hallway towards my brother's room, going, who's
Oh.
that guy?
God.
And she was like, what guy? And I was like, well, he was wearing, I think it was a red shirt and blue shorts. Like I still have like a vestige of a visual memory
Huh.
of seeing this. And she was like, of course, she like goes and checks and she's like, there's no one here. Who, like, did you see someone outside, or you know what I mean? That
Wow.
really, really, it freaked me out to remember that because I haven't thought about that in a long time.
Jeez. Holding out on us.
I
You
don't
had a
know.
spooky story all along.
I know. Yeah. No, I was like, I honestly, when I thought about it the other day, I was like, oh, I should tell Cassie about that and like talk about how I remembered that. But I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sure I've already told her this story.
I don't think
I was
so.
like positive. So I
Yeah.
almost said nothing, like at all. I was like, oh no, I've totally told her this story.
You didn't. I don't, not that I know of anyway, unless I forgot. But it's
Oh.
like it was the first time I was hearing it.
Ah.
I'm squeezing. I forgot to bring. I have this
Oh, you
little
have Rebecca.
squish fellow. This is Rebecca.
She
She's
does
a
not
devil.
like being called Becca, by the way.
She's not Becca. It's Rebecca. Okay.
Rebecca. Oh my gosh. Sorry, that went like so far off track, but I
I mean, it's not an off track.
I had to tell you that.
It totally goes. It's a spooky podcast. We can talk about spooky stuff whenever. If you have more
True.
stories, just, spit them out, lady.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, I have to say this now because otherwise I'll forget and it'll be dead to me for like 10 years.
Okay.
Sorry.
So he saw shadow people. Okay. So that kind of set the creepy shit that Cloud saw as a child, kind of set him down this
Yeah.
exorcism path. But that's not his only path.
Okay.
Cloud is also a therapist and drug and alcohol counselor. So he feels like this helps him be able to see the difference between a possession by something evil or a drug or mental health crisis.
Interesting. Okay. I could see that. Now I have a whole other host of concerns though.
Me too.
Okay, great. Glad we're on the same page with that.
But I
Cool.
think that it is kind of a good thing to have that background to be able to kind of assess the situation.
Openness maybe, but it's
Yeah.
concerning. I have okay. I'm gonna let you finish.
Why is it concerning to you?
Just because I do think that somebody like who is administering for all intents and purposes mental health or I don't know what his certification specifically is, but like that could very, very well be like truly medical care too, to some degree. It's concerning that like that might potentially be tied in. I just think about the consequences of somebody who thinks they've diagnosed one thing when it might be utterly unrelated. I don't know. I'm spiraling here a little bit.
obviously I don't know his circumstances and like what he does in his job or whatever. I was kind of under the impression that he has this day job
And it's totally separate.
and he doesn't try to like talk to those people about getting exorcised. Like people come to his website and contact him for exorcisms.
Yeah.
And then he kind of uses the therapy and drug and alcohol counseling to kind of like assess that situation.
Yeah. They're like compartmentalized.
I assume.
That's my concern is hopefully those are very compartmentalized because that has the potential to create a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
And specifically like, you know, for people that maybe already have religious trauma.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I certainly don't know for sure, and I'm not like advocating for this dude or whatever. I mean, you'll see as we go along here, but I don't know. Hopefully that's not the case because I can't imagine he would be like keeping a job if that were happening. So
one would hope.
Obviously, a big sign that something is paranormal is that if other people are witnessing and experiencing the same kind of like weird things you are.
Right.
Like that we talked about it before, the corroboration.
Yeah.
Corroboration.
Yeah.
So that's kind of one of the things he looks for as well, is he tries to see if anyone else in the house or anyone else around this person is also experiencing weird shit.
I think in any instance where I've heard about like an exorcism or a paranormal investigation, anybody that is generally respected in their, you know, respective field, they kind of approach it very much in the same manner that a scientist would. It's kind of that scientific method and yeah.
At least they're not, they're trying. They're not like fully just like, you're possessed right away.
Right. I feel like you have to explore the possibility of, I mean, we talk about it with true crime investigations.
Yeah.
You can't assume and try to make evidence fit.
Exactly.
You have to be open to this could be anything, you know?
Yeah.
To some degree.
Particularly mental health crisis.
Yeah.
But speaking of the devil, which is possession, what would one experience during a possession situation? You wonder.
No, I don't.
Well, this is probably going to sound a little familiar to some of you because it's in like all the movies. So,
okay.
And this is something that Cloud said in this interview. So these are from him too.
Okay.
So number 1 is infestation. Basically, it feels like a standard haunting. You might feel cold spots in your house, hear mildly alarming things like knocking or scratching or footsteps or voices. You might see an apparition, smell random smells. Like one of the things is sulfur.
Right, right. The diamond smell.
Yeah. With no known origin or cause. It's not like a gas leak or something. Please make sure if you're smelling sulfur that you look for your gas leak.
I mean, you really have to explore like all of those like physical and verifiable possibilities.
Yep. We'll keep drilling that in.
Yes.
You also might witness objects moving on their own. Just typical haunting stuff. So typical.
So typical.
Number 2 is oppression, where things start to get a little more intense with sleep problems, nightmares, illness, anxiety, anger, or depression.
Oh, God.
So this kind of just like happens, I feel like, if your house is haunted. Like obviously you're going to be stressed out, but it feels like it's just very intense feelings with pretty much no cause, I guess, other than the weird haunting shit you're experiencing.
Right? Everybody's like, I don't get why you're so upset.
Illness too is a big one, just like being ill for no reason.
Well, I think especially if you are having issues with sleep and stress, definitely, like that just takes such a toll on your immune system.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I feel like it all just goes together too.
It just becomes kind of a vicious cycle, I would think.
And it might also start to affect your relationships and your work, other things in your life. So,
yeah.
it starts to suck. And then Number 3 is finally the possession stage,
Okay.
where I feel like it's not exactly like it is in the movies. It's not this crazy like demon who's like speaking through you and
Yeah.
like different voices are coming out and you're like breaking bones and walking
Everybody can
backwards.
tell if something that dramatic
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. I feel like he says it's very rare for it to even get to the possession phase.
I would think.
So I feel like just the crazy movie possession phase isn't really like a super real thing.
That makes sense. Yeah. Like,
Things might have happened a couple of times in the past where, who knows
Yeah.
if it was real or not, if it was just someone going through a mental health crisis and
yeah.
having it exacerbated.
Exacerbated. Yeah.
Exacerbated.
SSS.
I know words.
SSS.
I am drinking the split pea soup from the Exorcism that the little girl throws up out of her mouth.
Gross. I'm not a fan.
It's actually matcha. It's delicious.
Yeah. Matcha is okay. Vomited split pea soup. I can't. No.
I love split pea soup. I was literally just thinking about it the other day that I wanted some. It was probably while I was writing this and I was like, ooh, split pea soup sounds great.
Yeah, but now that you've described it as like that scene from The Exorcist.
Bomb.com.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. No, thank you.
Also in these, in all of the articles and things I found about Cloud, they just refer to him as bishop, even though it said earlier he was an archbishop. But
That's
everything just
interesting.
calls him Bishop Cloud. I'm not really sure. I don't know religious things. And
yeah, I mean, the nomenclature is, I'm just not familiar enough to be anything but dangerous.
Yeah, me neither. So I'll just refer to him as Bishop Cloud. I'm not trying to be like disrespectful. That's just what they referred to him as in all of the things. So
yeah, I feel like if that's how he's typically referred to in everything you find, I mean.
Also, I think it's cool. It's cool. He's called Cloud because I don't know, like heaven, cloud. You think of like the clouds.
It does feel like a little bit. It's like a little crunchy.
Yeah,
it's a little woo woo. Yeah,
Bishop Cloud.
Bishop Cloud.
So during Bishop Cloud's exorcisms, 1 to 3 times a month, which I feel like
that seems like a lot.
Is kind of a lot, right?
Yeah, I thought he said these were not common.
Well, no. Like, it's not common to get to like the possession phase.
I know, but you have to be in the possession phase, right?
No.
Oh.
No, you don't have
You can have an exorcism even if you're not possessed.
Yeah, because you're trying to get ahead of it, right? You're trying to, it's basically cleansing.
Okay.
Just like an extreme form. So you can do it if a possession is starting, I guess, at any phase of a possession. Yeah, I don't know.
That's
doesn't
interesting.
have to be full blown. It's probably better to get it, nip it in the butt, as I like to say. So he normally has to be quite forceful with the evil entities, but some put up way more of a fight than others. So he says like some of them he just has to be like really forceful with, and that's like with his words, with his prayer. Okay. He doesn't ever like tie people up and like do the other crazy stuff,
Yeah.
Forceful with his like words and his
Gotcha.
What am I trying to say? His like conviction.
Yeah. I mean, it's his demeanor.
Yeah.
I feel like his mannerisms.
Yeah. Going to war with his words.
Yeah.
In 2018, author Santi of An Excellent Day for an Exorcism on PortlandMercury.com went with Bishop Cloud to witness his work in the Bethany area outside of Portland.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. What year
close.
was this?
2018.
Okay.
A man known as Stan, which I don't think that's his real name. I think they made up a name for the article, felt an overall uneasy presence inside his home and was having what sounds like sleep paralysis attacks.
No.
Yeah. He'd feel like he was being held down, but couldn't see what was doing it. He was also being unconsensually touched, which is like, don't do that.
Ew.
No, demons. You have my consent. Come touch me. He was experiencing something unseen, pulling his hair, or sometimes gnawing his feet,
Ew!
which totally reminds me of the movie Talk to Me. There, you haven't seen it. It's a possession movie.
Oh, okay. I was like, this doesn't sound familiar.
I do have a clip.
No, thank you.
You don't want to see the clip?
I feel like I'm good.
There's a foot sucking,
Like
gnawing
a foot
situation.
fetish demon.
Yeah, it was like a creepy old lady. One night, Stan was feeling something grabbing and clawing at his toes. And all of a sudden had a terrifying vision and horrifying intrusive thoughts. He didn't give the details about any of this. I assume because they were really disturbing to him. I don't think he wanted to really talk about it. Which
Same girl.
is I like maybe trigger warning here. I had a really terrible intrusive thought recently. So if you're like kind of squeamish about sharp objects, maybe skip forward a little bit.
Oh God, skip.
No, you have to hear this. I think I already told you this.
Okay.
I had the worst intrusive thought the other night. It was like probably a month ago. And I was just laying in bed trying to sleep, just minding my own business, just like, clearing your mind and just like relaxing. And all of a sudden I was like, what if I bit into a razor that was hidden in my food? And I like felt it in my mouth, like go into the roof of my mouth. Why?
I know exactly why.
Why?
Because of the myth of like the razor blades in candy and apples.
Yeah, but like, why would that all of a sudden randomly pop into my brain in the middle of the night when I wasn't thinking about anything. I was really peacefully just trying to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then that popped into my head.
I know normally you like your matcha, but that is anxiety.
It is. I mean, matcha is tea.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, so like intrusive thoughts are a thing, and I don't think I'm being possessed. I don't know, maybe I am. Do you guys think I'm possessed right now?
I tend to think no, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of thoughts he was having. Probably, I don't know, self-harm is pretty typical.
Well, were they thoughts or because it makes it, I don't know, I'm getting like kind of two different pictures where it's like, is this something that he was sort of visualizing as like actually happening as he was experiencing sleep paralysis? Or does it sound more like this is like just an intrusive thought that he had when he had sleep paralysis?
Those were different. So I don't think he was having sleep paralysis at this point. Maybe he was.
So it's just kind of two horrifying things that are running in tandem, but they're not necessarily happening like in the same moment.
Yeah. Maybe he was having sleep paralysis because it did say he was feeling things like grabbing and clawing at his toes and then like had a vision and a horrible thought. I don't think he was like, he wasn't like seeing what was happening to him. I think it was something else, either like self-harm, maybe harming his family, harming like other people. I don't know. Because that's pretty common. And
I actually kind of think that's worse.
It's so bad. And that is scary.
Yeah.
I would be really scared if I was having thoughts like that. I mean, I've had like self-harm thoughts and
I feel like sometimes your brain just goes like, hey, what if I
what if you bite into a razor blade?
Yeah. Well, but for why?
What if I hid razor blades in all my family's food and watched them bite it? Like
just really horrific shit. And you do feel like, where did that come from?
And you could be scared, like maybe that you would act something out and not have control over it. That would be really scary. I feel really bad for Stan. Like this is scary stuff. Anyway, so apparently these disturbing, intrusive visions and thoughts caused Stan to seek help from the church. He was turned down by all of the other places that he went to. I don't really know. I don't really know exactly where he went, but he was turned down until Bishop Cloud said, "Not today, Satan." Probably literally just like that.
Because we rose all day.
We Jesus blood all day. Okay. So they're going to Stan's house to do this exorcism.
Okay.
And Bishop Cloud starts by walking through the house and assessing the situation.
Alrighty.
Ass in the sitch, if you will.
Uh,
So he's assing the fuck out of this sitch.
Yeah.
And unlike in the movies, the supposed demon reveals his name pretty fast.
Oh.
That's like one of the big things for exorcisms to work is like you need to know
their name.
their name.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, that's like, there's something about that, right? I was like,
Yeah.
it's deep in the lore. I can't bring it to the forefront in my mind, but I know the name is important.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think just so you can tell it to leave. Like instead
Right.
of saying, hey, you get out of here, you say, hey, Caitlin, get the fuck out
out.
of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just asking out loud. Actually, he's kind of more like demanding the demon tell him his name, tell him its name. I don't know. The demons probably don't have a gender or whatever.
Yeah.
So at first it says Zozo, which is a demon that is like pretty much everybody knows. And it comes up a lot in Ouija board stories.
Okay. I was going to say, I feel like I've heard of this.
Yeah. I feel like everyone.
Zozo or Zuzu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Z's, man. But he immediately sees through this deception. And the demon is like, all right, you caught me. I'm Jeriel.
Jeriel?
Jeriel. Jeriel? Jeriel.
How's it spelled?
Jariel.
Jeriel.
Jeriel. Now, Cloud says this is an angel name because it ends in EL, which
okay.
is like, he says all angels end in EL, which is, that's not like entirely true, but a lot of them do.
Give you that many options either. That really like narrows the naming pool.
There's a pretty decent amount of angels that end in EL, but there's also a lot that don't. One off the top of my head, Lucifer, who was an angel, didn't end in EL.
Wait, did they make him change his name?
That's what I thought, but Google said no.
No. Okay. I was gonna say I think he was always Lucifer.
Yeah. I Googled lists of like fallen angels and I just like went on a deep tangent about this. So I didn't really add any of it into my episode because it's not super relevant.
Yeah.
Just so you know that there are angels that don't end in EL, but I guess it's if you're in this situation and a demon is telling you I'm Jeriel or Jeriel, you might just like maybe this is an angel because it does end in EL and that's pretty typical. Anyway, so I looked up, I did search for this name in a bunch of lists of the angels and I didn't find it anywhere in any of the lists. And
okay, so he's just boldly stating that based on the spelling.
I mean, it could be an unlisted. Yeah, it could be an unlisted angel. I don't know. Maybe he's an unlisted. He's not in the yellow pages. I don't know.
Totes.
But I did find the name and its origins are Hebrew and or Spanish.
Okay.
It means God's strength or God's seas.
Seas as in like the ocean?
Like seas candy.
Like
seas with your eyes.
I was going to say, I feel like it's important to clarify. I don't know how. Maybe there are people that aren't familiar with seas candies, but.
Seas as in like he sees. So my first thought after looking this up, and I'm like, that sounds like a demon like taunting you. Like because you're trying to use like God's strength to get it out. You're trying to like see who it is through, you know, your prayers and all your God stuff. So I don't know. It sounds like a taunt to me. Like, why would he just immediately believe the second name he was given?
Yeah, that seems odd.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little too trusting.
Like, oh, I'm just an angel. I'm not a demon.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you got me. I'm actually an angel.
Right. So I just like really got into this demon's head and just like wanted to figure this out for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe there's like this rule I don't know about where demons can't lie twice in a row. I don't know.
Oh, or like third time's the charm. He lies to you twice and then third time he tells you his real name.
Yeah.
But Bishop didn't know that, so he didn't ask a third time.
He did ask a third time.
I don't know.
I don't know if he did. As far as what I read, it sounded like he just believed it was Jeriel was his name. So.
Super trusting of the guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not the move I'd make, but whatever. I don't know.
Maybe he has like a lie detector hooked up to this demon. I don't know. So next, Cloudy the Bish, he moves onto the backyard.
All right.
And you'll never guess what he finds in the backyard.
Lots of spiders?
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We could probably, let's try it. Let's say it all together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Native American burial ground.
Oh, yeah, that makes total sense.
But like, which at this point, this is so overdone and it literally gets mentioned, I feel like, in everything.
Yeah.
But he says he does see the apparition of an indigenous woman.
Okay.
I don't know how that translates into this as a burial ground, but who
Yeah,
knows?
that's interesting.
Like, she could have just lived there,
Did
or
we find any artifacts or like something else in his vision that indicates that?
I guess just a feeling, or
Maybe. I mean, listen,
stereotype.
it is completely plausible that there are
Right.
that many and more indigenous people that are a little bit pissed off about, you know,
Right.
the-
Yeah.
What
I have
do
a whole thing on
What
this.
did they call it? Like the white croach or something, where we basically just started to like
take
like
over
locusts.
everything. Yeah. I mean, I'm also guilty of it sometimes too. Like, I like to look into the history of the land, and obviously it does always
I mean,
go
that's
back to
different.
the people who lived here before.
Yeah.
And I can totally see both sides. Like, if you're feeling really guilty about the past and you think you're desecrating these sacred grounds,
Yeah.
it's reasonable to think that something would be pissed off from the beyond,
right.
or maybe left some sort of energy behind that's trying to protect the land, kind of like we saw in like the Crater Lake with the old man. Like, we think it's kind of like a
Yeah.
protective spirit.
Yeah,
Not
but like if
necessarily
you don't have any
evil.
verification of that, then that seems where you've
Right.
tokenized
Yeah,
it.
you just mentioned it. Like, hey, this is probably a thing.
Yeah, no.
But it is also harmful to always be associating Native
Right.
American or indigenous people with
Yes.
evil.
Right. Right. That's exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like the first couple of things that pop in your head as like a possible reason. And he might have totally picked up on the energy of like the woman who might have lived there way before Stan. But that doesn't mean she or any of the people are causing these possessions or
Right.
doing anything evil.
Yeah. I feel like maybe we just don't assume that the white guy of a completely different, I mean, obviously a different ethnic and social, cultural, and religious background, that like he knows.
Yeah.
Maybe we ask for like a second opinion.
Yeah. Maybe she's there like trying to help or being like protective over
Yeah.
Stan or something. But I guess, I don't know. It also comes down to feeling too. So I guess if he was having a feeling about it,
Yeah.
that's hard. It's hard to say that someone is right or wrong. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
just see both sides of it
Mhm.
and explain why it's kind of harmful to
Yeah.
think that. To always talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the difference is like if there's actually any basis in fact, or
Right.
are we just assuming?
If you're finding artifacts, if you're digging
Right.
up bones, like, okay, yeah, maybe that could stir up some
Yeah.
shit. But
Again,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
I don't know.
have we learned nothing from blindly trusting white men of a certain age?
Apparently not.
Not.
Apparently not.
I'm just saying, like, be open to a different idea.
Yeah. Well, as we go on, we have one more possible source for all of this. Stan's daughter. Dun, dun, dun. Blame it on the
Okay.
woman.
Is it like an inheritance situation though? Because then I feel like they really buried the lead.
Inheritance.
Yeah, like is she trying to kill him?
Oh, no.
You know what I
no.
mean?
Not like that.
Okay.
I don't think she is the problem at all, but we'll go
Oh.
through why they think maybe.
Are you sure?
A
woman?
woman. It's got to
Yeah.
be evil.
Mm.
She apparently had some high school parties in the home with some Ouija board action.
Oh, yeah, totally her fault. Yeah.
So her fault.
Yeah. Did she also smoke the devil's lettuce?
Oh, it's funny you mentioned that. The bishop thinks that it's definitely a doorway. The Ouija board is definitely a doorway and highly likely to let the evil in. Another thing he thinks lets the evil in is, and he just boldly assumes that this was at this high school party.
Oh, okay.
Drugs.
Great. Yes.
Which he calls sorcery. What kind of sorcery is this? Like, that just makes it sound cooler, my dude.
Honestly, I feel like you're not understanding the actual versus intended.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Oh boy.
so because, of course, if you're in high school, if you're at a party doing a Ouija board, that must mean you're on drugs.
Ouija board and weed.
Yeah, totally. It all
Yeah.
just goes together. There was no questioning it. It was just assumed, it sounded like.
All right, cool.
But this means now, since Stan's daughter dabbled, she would have to renounce all occult practices. And if she doesn't, it will probably just come back. The exorcism
okay.
won't work.
All right.
So we're putting it all on the not little girl. She's, I think, in college,
Yeah,
but
she's
like
an adult at
the
this
young
point.
woman.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
cool.
all on her. It's all on her now.
So we don't ever have to worry about him hearing this episode and having thoughts or feelings about it because, I mean, clearly they'd have to swear off, a podcast where they would read tarot cards.
Oh, we'll get there. We will get there.
Oh my God.
So I have a picture I'm going to just airdrop to you real quick.
Wrong quack.
So this is Cloud going around the house with his giant Christ on a cross.
Okay.
And he does this in the name of Jesus stuff while he's smoke cleansing, using the rosary beads and consecrated oils.
Okay.
I also have to read you this quote about his crucifix that you're looking at right now, yeah?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He has this because sorry. It's just funny. So this is the quote of why he has this particular really, really big crucifix that wouldn't even fit in Caitlin's hand.
No, it wouldn't.
Quote, "'Cause I'm a hefty boy and I like a little heftiness. I like to get it on."
Okay, yeah. So that quote makes a lot more sense now that I've seen him. He looks pretty much exactly like what I was, the picture I was building in my mind.
Mm-hmm. And my hair matches his shirt. That's why I dyed my hair today purple because of Bishop Cloud.
He's more of a
like a
more of
maroony.
like a maroon.
I think in one of the videos he's wearing like a purple shirt.
Oh, okay.
And I totally got like from everything and from this quote, I like to get it on. Like I get fucking Beetlejuice vibes from this guy.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
God, I'm a hefty boy. I need a hefty Christ on a cross.
Okay. Not sure why we're talking about that, but then, here we are.
I feel like he just thinks it just like gives him more power in his conviction or whatever.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's channeling, carry a big stick. Wow.
Really, the only action from this exorcism is the bishop felt his foot get grabbed at one point. So there's a lot of like, maybe this demon does have a foot fetish. There's a lot of like foot.
Yeah. I feel like it's foot
or maybe
fetish.
It's like a little,
demon.
like a really small demon and all it can reach is the feet.
That could be. I feel like it's more salacious if we think of it as a foot fetish demon.
Yeah, just like,
but I'm willing to entertain either.
I'm picturing it like when the Grinch like slithers around the floor.
Yes. 1,000%. 1,000%.
Oh, and the other actionable thing that happened was Bishop Cloud got a little possessed himself by the Lord, speaking in tongues. So what I don't understand, I guess because you're being possessed by the Lord, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the difference. I really don't.
I think I have never and probably will never understand the speaking in tongues
Me neither.
thing.
It's scary to witness. I've witnessed it.
I just feel like if the Lord, let's entertain this for a moment.
Okay.
If the Lord was going to possess you, he knows allegedly all of the words.
Right.
He might even have all of the best words. And he sends out of your mouth.
I guess so. I don't know. Is it the Lord possessing you? Is that why it happens? I really don't know. I was kind of just like pulling that out of my butt.
Oh, that sounds right.
It sounds right to me. You can Google it. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say maybe that's a good idea because I could see people being like,
Well, I mean, if I'm wrong, obviously we've stated we don't really know. I just kind of always thought that's what I had heard. And I just wanted to say, possessed by the Lord.
I don't know that it necessarily outright says that. I would think that's one interpretation.
Okay.
That you're being possessed.
So I'm not totally off.
No, I don't think so. So speaking in tongues, also known as glossolalia, is a practice where someone utters speech-like sounds. Take that in for a moment. Speech-like sounds.
So this is all toddlers. Okay. Got it.
Or words that are believed to be a language unknown to the speaker. It is a spiritual gift that some Christians believe is given by the Holy Spirit.
I just don't understand why. All right.
Listen, I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum.
No.
That one's not mine. It's, nope.
If it's your yum and you've made it this far and you're listening to us, then that means your mind is pretty open and cool. And I feel like we are too. So if you want to explain it to us, I would love that.
Yeah.
We have an email, pnwhauntsandhomicides@gmail.com. Type a little email.
And I mean, I grew up religious and I feel like, I've had experiences that have given me a sense of, having faith, maybe not in the form or fashion that traditional religion probably sort of dictates, but here we are.
I think so too.
I think so too. Yeah. Minnesota.
I've gone to church too, and it was a good time. It just wasn't for me, and I've definitely when you're in, I believe you can always feel people's energies too. And I feel like when you're in a big crowd of people who's just doing the same thing and trying to feel the same thing, and you kind of do feel stuff. But yeah, it just wasn't for me.
Yeah. And I mean, as a kid, I've attended, different churches and in different places over time. There is a difference in the energy too. So I do feel like there are plenty of people who probably don't experience a religious atmosphere or, event in the same way that, somebody else might.
Yeah.
They just have had a totally different experience because of, who they're surrounded by.
Yeah.
Hopefully really awesome, cool.
Hope so.
Yeah.
I know that's not always the case.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah. We're all different. We all believe different things. I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong and try to get you on my side other than tell you what I think. And if it resonates with you, cool. If it doesn't, cool.
I don't think there's an issue with, really almost any spiritual belief until it becomes, well, I have to impose this on anybody else. If this starts to impact anybody else's safety, mental health, general physical well-being, whatever the case may be, that's when it becomes an issue for me.
If you're trying to tell me I'm evil for the things that I do that I don't think are evil. Yeah.
Red.
So speaks in tongues. He gets a little touched. But at the end, now he's got his big old meaty mitts on Stan's head and he renounces all of the occult fun.
Okay.
And that's it. I don't really know if it worked for Stan. Probably not, because I highly doubt his daughter. I don't know. I mean, I don't know his daughter. Maybe she did come home and renounce all of the evil occult stuff. But yeah, I don't know if it worked or not. That's how it went down. This is Bishop Cloud's site. It is Paranormal Research Investigators of St. Michael, and it's called Prism.
Okay.
There's a quote on his site. "We will never use Ouija, tarot, shamanism, crystals, Wicca, or any other occult practice. These are just some of the many ways in which the enemy gains a foothold in a person's life and then expands its domain into their relationship, finances, and spiritual life.
Finances, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's an interesting assertion given so wow.
Yeah.
Um
Well, that
hmm.
was one of the things is like if you're being in that oppression stage, like it can affect you like going to work and stuff. So I think that's like
Mm.
kind of part of it.
Oh, see, I'm
But
thinking bigger than that because I'm like, oh, interesting, financial, like having a 501(c)(3) or other exemption for tax purposes,
mm,
giving a certain percentage of your income.
right.
Huh,
And I don't know if they
interesting.
do that at his church. I have no
Mm,
idea.
it's kind of a big church thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But like reading this list, I'm like, we're fucked.
Whoa.
Also, they're scared of rocks from the earth bringing demons.
Listen,
They're rocks.
these are the same people that I feel like are saying God made dirt, dirt won't hurt.
God made rocks. What's wrong with the rocks? The rocks did nothing to you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he's using this cross, which
Yeah.
is metal, right? Which is
Mhm.
like, is that like a rock? I don't know. I mean, metal's like from the earth, right?
Right. I mean,
It's like a
so
mineral or whatever. I don't know.
yeah, I mean they're forged from, different
Yeah.
elements that are found present in I mean a number of different ways. Like whether it's in
Yeah.
soil or it's mined from other like rock sources or
But you're using that
yeah,
as like
it
a
just
symbol of
oh my
protection or
God.
whatever. That's the same thing we do with crystals. If he's smoke cleansing, where do
Uh-huh.
you think that
Wait,
came from?
yeah.
Definitely not the pagans and like all of the other indigenous cultures. Like
Yeah, it seems like throughout time, throughout history and cultural practices, there is a very strong current of like certain things, elements um, are viewed as like in a very similar way. So all of us humans, independently, on totally separate corners of this earth, have decided that like this smoke stuff, we can like it does something. Like,
yeah, it obviously does because we all, well, not all of us, but a lot of us
yeah,
believe that it does.
it's just, but no, you're right. This one way that some people choose to use the smoke, that's
That's fine.
bad.
Yeah. But theirs is like totally
There,
fine.
yours is fine though.
And yeah, see, I just don't understand. So now, like I said before, I really don't want to make light of Stan's situation. And I do think what he
Mm.
experienced is really scary. And I'm glad he was attempting to get some help for it. Um, I really don't know, just based off the information in the article. I'm sure they didn't really share everything.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know how Bishop Cloud determined that Stan's sleep paralysis and intrusive thoughts were not a mental health issue.
Yes. And it kind of goes back
Yeah.
to like the concerns that I was sharing sort of at the top. Like, I think you have to exhaust all of those like physical, medical, other rational explanations before we just sort of start poking
Yeah,
around in the spiritual.
exactly. Like, I think maybe he should have, I don't know if Stan visited like therapist or anything like that. Um, I really think that's an important thing to do
Yeah.
first.
I mean, it could be mental health. Hell, honestly, the reason why I say like physical, it's not just a matter of mental health. You could literally have a brain tumor. Like, go
That,
see a
yeah.
regular doctor.
Or you
Let
could have like
them.
mold in your house or some sort of
Yes.
electric, like the EMF things, like those
Mm-hmm.
can really fuck with you.
Yeah.
I know we think of like the EMF readers detecting ghosts, but like if the EMFs are really, really high, that's electromagnetic fields, and those can like make you hallucinate, make you
Yeah.
feel like weird. And yeah, so I don't know. I feel like there just needed, I don't know if there was more investigation done prior to this. But I feel like that's really necessary to do,
Yeah.
especially go see a real therapist first, like get some mental health stuff checked first before you try to
Right.
get an exorcism. If things
Yeah.
are still rolling, like then maybe try
Yeah.
anything you can. But I don't know. I think that's a really important thing to do
I mean, hey,
first.
listen, I'll try anything once. You only YOLO once,
Can I
as I always
exercise you?
say. Maybe. At one point, I really did think we were going to need one in the old apartment.
Oh, yeah.
And now I feel like we were at step 2. I
We
feel
just
like we were in
needed to
phase
cleanse
2.
more.
Yeah.
Dude.
Because I was having horrific dreams and I was feeling very
Oh.
sick and having a lot
Oh.
of issues with my sleep.
Dude, you were about to get possessed.
It kind of feels
You feel like Stan.
a little bit, maybe. But, we did everything that seemed reasonable aside from inviting a
Bishop?
random religious leader into our home.
I mean, we do tarot all the time. So, we're
Yeah.
just asking for it.
Yeah. What was she wearing?
Exactly. But anyway, I hope it worked out for Stan. I hope his problems were solved in whatever way. If it was the exorcism, if he got different help afterwards. I hope everything's okay in that situation, especially for the daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope
For
they're
everyone
okay.
involved. Yeah. Hope that's all
That's all, folks.
copacetic.
There is a video news story of Bishop Cloud doing another exorcism on a man in Golden, Oregon.
Oh boy. Okay.
And this is a notoriously haunted place.
Mm.
Our Lord and Savior, Zach Bagelbites, went there and got the shit possessed out of him. Yeah, it's like a haunted, like little ghost town type of thing.
Okay.
Golden, Oregon.
Yeah.
And it was on Ghost Adventures. So they have if you're interested, it's in the sources. They have a video of him. You could see him in his purple shirt, smoking a cigar, doing his thing.
Okay.
There's one more exorcism I would like to talk to y'all about.
All right.
Following the Portland Black Lives Matter protests in 2020, Archbishop Alexander Sample conducted an exorcism on the city streets. So he is Roman Catholic and is associated with the Big Papa Pope Church.
Yeah, I wonder for how long.
No,
after
this
that.
is legit. This is a legit one.
No, I know. I'm saying if he's doing exorcisms on the street, I wonder how long.
No, the
before
exorcism was legit. That's what I'm saying. Like this was all done. This was good. This was a
with
good
their
thing.
permission.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you about it.
Okay.
So the reason for this was not to like exorcise any demons from any people.
Okay.
It was just to get rid of any negativity left behind from the demonstrations.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Sample explains, quote, "We all know there's been a lot of unrest side by side with those legitimate and righteous and wonderful demonstrations. We've seen this violence that has also erupted and maybe distracted somewhat from the real issues of racial injustice." So he's just
Okay.
doing like a cleansing.
Yeah. He's like, she's seen some things.
Yeah.
She needs like a spa day.
Yeah. It was really
Okay.
just to clear it of any negativity, to like hope that in the future that things will be better and there's just no lingering bad energy in the streets of Portland, Oregon,
Interesting.
where there was a lot of energy
Lots of
in
energy.
2020. Yeah, there was like, what was it, like 4 months or something of protests? It was,
I think it went on a bit longer than that. Even
I think this article said like about 4 months. They did it in
Yeah.
October, I think.
I mean, there are certain time periods where it was like at peak, but then there have been, some sporadic demonstrations that occurred it felt like that almost never went away fully.
Yeah. Well, that year was 10 years long. So
Yeah, it was. I say it all the time. 2020, the longest decade ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think this is kind of like how exorcism should be. Just like a nice thing to do for people, not really trying to.
Yeah, I was poised to really be
be
unhappy and uncomfortable. So
I ended it on a good note for you. Not all exorcisms are because of Ouija boards.
No, I mean that was good. Yeah.
Thank you. Bow.
Oh.
Well, that was all I had. But then going through this, I remembered something that happened to me while I was house sitting. So I'm house sitting and I'm watching dogs. So like we took the dogs out. It was just me.
Okay. I was like,
I meant we, the dogs, and I went outside.
got it. Yeah.
So they went potty. It's like 10 o'clock at night. It's dark. Nothing's going on. We come back inside. I close the door and I lock it. And they have like a bells on their door for the dog to, jingle jangle if they need a potty.
Genius.
So I was walking away. I swear the dogs were like here, like next to me, like grabbing toys, they were all excited because they went pee and they came back in the house,
Mm-hmm.
We were like the door. Well, I guess people can't really see. I was probably like 10 feet away from the door. Like door is here. I'm like here.
Okay.
With the dogs. And all of a sudden I hear this like bang. And it sounded like someone took both of their hands and went bang on the front door. And the bells jingled. And I was like, I turned and looked and the dogs weren't over there.
No.
They were still running around. And I was like, that couldn't have been like, because one of them's a Great Dane and he's big. So I'm like, okay, if he ran into the door, like maybe.
Yeah.
But he wasn't even over there. And so I told the person whose house it was. And she was like, well, birds like fly into the door sometimes.
I
was
like, going to say it is a very lazy Amazon delivery.
Right.
They just like threw it at the door.
Right. But the camera didn't go off. Nothing was at the door. It was 10 o'clock at night. Who would be delivering a package? Birds aren't flying around at 10 o'clock. It could have been a bat, I guess. But like the sound I've heard the birds, they hit the windows a lot. And I think they have hit the door before, but it just.
That's a much more, like the sound of that is so slight compared to a full-sized human putting both of their hands.
And I don't know. That's exactly what it sounded like. Is someone threw something heavy at the door, or if it was like their two hands. And that's the immediate thought I had was like someone with their two hands hitting the door. It was so weird. And I really don't know how to explain it. I mean, I guess it could have been like a bat or something that just like flew away after. It didn't, I don't know. A bat seems too small to have made
it makes me so nervous.
I know. And I was thinking there is someone who lives downstairs. So it could have been him slamming a door. But the way that it happened, the house is really big. If someone's downstairs slamming a door, it's not going to jiggle the door upstairs and like make the bells.
You might hear it, but the vibration.
Like the bells came off the door and like smacked the door. Like it didn't just jingle it. Like it sounded like it came off the door again and like smacked.
Like smacked it. Yeah. Like very forceful.
Not like hard, but just as if someone had hit the door just enough to where the bells kind of went off the door and back.
Yeah. Ooh.
She doesn't think it was anything, but she doesn't believe in any of this stuff. So she has told me someone has died on the property. Like an old woman, but she's like, and I'm like, oh, what if it's haunted? And she's like, it's not fucking haunted. But I mean, I don't know.
That's what I would tell myself if I lived there too.
Why would an old woman be banging on the door with that force?
Because she's like, I cannot believe this door is locked. When I lived here, we left all of the doors unlocked.
Maybe. I mean, that she didn't live in the house. It was just on the property because the house is new.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe she's pissed because she's like, I'm more of a cat person.
Yeah. I really don't, but I mean, I got scared for like a second, but I was like, I can't I'm not going to let things scare me because then it's just going to get worse,
Yeah, I do think it feeds off the energy a certain amount.
So I just say, no, thank you.
Okay.
And I go to bed and we don't go outside the rest of the night.
Okay, I'm going to go to bed now. So good night, everyone.
The other thought I had was like, what if it was like because there's wild animals all around. So what if like something followed us back to the door, but like the camera didn't, the ring didn't go off.
Yeah.
So,
which does make me think, okay, well, at least it seems reasonable to, unless you're presented with new or additional evidence, at least there's no physical threat currently.
Hopefully.
Yeah. On that note, should we do some tarot?
Oh, yeah. Tarot.
Yeah.
So we got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And this is my Beetlejuice deck. So this was like one of the party goers when they had that, the party with the shrimp and the grabbing the face and the What's that? The banana boat song? Is that not the banana boat? Wait.
I can't think of any other words but
Get
banana
on the
boat.
boat. The
Yeah.
banana boat. No, we know the song.
You get it.
You know the Beetlejuice song. Come
Come
on.
on.
Okay, I'm gonna set it on the altar.
Okay. All right.
Day-o, day-o,
Deo.
daylight come. I mean, it's like the banana song.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Little bit. Okay.
Me say day. Me say, okay.
Oh my God. Something happened. Okay.
I'm possessed.
Possessed. All right. Our keywords are comfort, security, wealth, generosity, managerial ability, and fertility.
Okay.
Like the king, the Queen of Pentacles often appears seated on a throne, wearing rich garments and a crown. Some decks show her gazing down at a pentacle in her lap, symbolizing fertility.
Oh, interesting. It's like a pentacle, and I don't know why. Like a pentagram is like what people think of as like one of the evil things, and like, oh, there's so many demons with their pentagrams.
Demons and witches.
I think a pentacle is like a pentagram is like a pentacle upside down, right?
That sounds right.
We're gonna go with that.
I'm going with that. This card may represent an actual person, usually a mature woman who's intelligent, serious, and strong.
Us?
Possibly. Possibly. I'll save. Okay, I'm just gonna go into the interpretation.
Okay.
In a reading about. Oh no, I almost read the upright.
Right.
Okay.
It's in reverse. Her eyes look so creepy. I know you can't see it right now, but like looking at the altar and like seeing this woman's eyes like from upside down, because I put the card upside down. It looks really creepy.
Oh my gosh. Okay. When reversed, the Queen of Pentacles may indicate a questionable financial situation.
Ooh, we kind of did talk about that. Like we weren't really sure.
That's interesting. Okay. Sometimes it shows a lack of understanding in money matters, mismanaging property, reckless spending, or hoarding. Envy or manipulation may exist when this card appears reversed.
Oh no. I mean, I was hoping there was no manipulation, but I mean, that was kind of.
I mean, I feel like it's implied.
I feel like it's there.
Yeah. It can also suggest indulgence and laziness, or it may represent caretaker burnout.
Caretaker burnout? That's interesting.
Interesting note there.
Huh.
I'm going to noodle on it. In a reading about money, the reversed queen says, you're not dealing with money matters in a constructive, realistic way. An investment or business venture may be shady or won't pay off.
Oh, a shady business venture, huh? Interesting.
Your finances may be unstable, or an advisor/partner may not be reliable. If the reading is about work, you may feel insecure in your job, status, and engage in questionable behavior to hold on to your position.
I don't know. Just like questionable behavior in your job just reminded me of him like getting kicked out of his church for doing exorcisms.
Yeah. Sometimes this card can indicate you've sold your soul for security and feel trapped and unfulfilled as a result.
Just the wording, sold your soul. That's crazy.
Yeah.
How many fucking cards say that?
Probably not.
Probably just the one.
Yeah. In a reading about love, the reversed queen suggests an unhappy relationship based on security, status, or wealth. In some cases, it represents sexual excess, obsession, or trading sex for financial benefits.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if that has anything to do with the like specifically with this, but it just seems like salacious, you know?
Yeah.
Like the
Just
evil things.
indicative of scandal, I
Yeah.
feel like. Okay, there is an extra excerpt. Earth Mother. We often refer to our planet as Mother Earth, and witches consider the earth to be feminine. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the Queen of Pentacles sits in a beautiful landscape, which indicates her strong connection with nature. She's the ultimate Earth Mother.
Mm. Which is like all like paganism is about, is like
It really
the earth.
is.
And
Yeah.
interesting, we drew this card that's like a queen, like a woman, and there was a lot of woman bashing and in religion in general and in this specific exorcism episode.
Yeah.
And I'm really like wondering what this other card was that was stuck to it now.
Yeah, me too.
I left it right on top. It's the Ace of Cups in reverse. And it's another woman.
Interesting.
It is Lydia on her bike.
Keywords are new love, beginning a creative activity, and joy. We have read this card so many times. I'm not going to read the description.
That's fine.
I'm going to skip it. The reversed ace can indicate a delay in starting a relationship. It can also mean a romance that seemed promising doesn't develop or turn out as you'd hoped.
What if this was like from the demon's perspective?
That's so funny. I was going to say, I feel like I understand why the other card was the one that wins out, but maybe that makes sense too. This may not be the right time to start something new.
This is so from the demon's perspective. Like, I can't get that out of my head now.
Yeah. Interesting. In a reading about money, the reversed ace suggests you may have to wait a while to profit from a new venture, especially if you're not getting paid for it. Or it can mean you won't make as much as you'd expected. Again, especially if you're not getting paid.
Or I was kind of thinking before I lose it, like Stan, who has this new relationship with this exorcist, and like maybe it didn't work out right away.
Yeah, it could be that. If the reading is about your work, you may encounter delays in landing your dream job. For creative people, this ace can represent a dry spell when you feel stifled or uninspired. In a reading about love, you may run into obstacles, limitations, or disappointments.
Oh, you can't possess this person because this Bishop Cloud is just yelling at you.
Maybe.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
With my hefty crucifix.
Seriously.
Oh, I'm sorry. Christ on a cross.
Yeah. You get it. Oh, man.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
I really loved using my Beetlejuice deck.
Yeah, that's good. That was a good one.
It came with a weird interpretation.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's
booklet. That's like one page.
Wow.
I kind of want to, I don't know if these say anything extra. Let's see. What was that first one again? Sword, Queen of Pentacles.
Queen of Pentacles, and then the Ace of Cups in reverse.
Oh, this is interesting. When reversed, the Queen of Pentacles finds you turning inward, taking time away from your career and family so you can do the essential work on yourself. Don't worry. They'll manage just fine without you.
Interesting.
It reminds me of like having work issues when you're like having a possession and then like you have to turn away from everything and then like get help. You have to work on yourself to get the demons out.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And I ripped it too because it was like stuck together at one point. No. Yeah. Okay. Ace of Cups reversed. Something is keeping you grounded when all you want to do is fly.
Like away with a diamond?
With a diamond. This block is temporary, but it's worth investigating what's holding you down.
Oh, God.
The sleep paralysis.
Yeah. I don't like that.
They're literally investigating what was holding him down. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think we should get back to true crime.
I'm really glad that I opened this. Okay. You are ready for new experiences, new relationships, and a boon of artistic inspiration. Ooh, a boon.
Boom.
Daniel
Daniel
Boone.
Boone.
Oh, that's an angelic name, Daniel, because it ends in EL.
Oh, interesting.
Shake off your past and dance your way into a beautiful new time of life.
Ooh.
That's kind of interesting too, because in Beetlejuice, the dancing was like they were being possessed whenever they were like making people dance.
Yeah, that's true. Oh.
It just all connected with that one little piece of paper I decided to pull out.
Interesting.
That's cool. Well, do you guys love our altar with our Taylor prayer candle, our see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil bats?
The bats.
We got our protective crystal with it's like a gold sheen obsidian, I think it's called.
Like a gold obsidian?
I think it's called gold sheen obsidian.
Oh.
Gold.
You're fancier than me. I don't know.
Onyx? Wait, obsidian. I thought it was.
I thought obsidian was just black.
It is. So normally obsidian is black, but there is
like
so
matte black. Like not a sparkly.
Oh no, it's like shiny black. Oh, that's polished. Like things are polished and they get shiny.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's obsidian,
but not like shimmery though. I thought.
Yeah,
I thought
this
obsidian wasn't.
So
shimmery.
gold sheen obsidian has like. It's. I feel like it's almost like tiger's eye, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very reminiscent of that.
I think there's silver too. But they're really cool. I guess you can't really tell. I'll just kind of show off the ball really quick.
Okay.
Or the egg.
The egg.
Interesting. It's an egg. And the thing said stuff about like fertility.
Yeah, I was trying to face it so that you might be able to see the shimmery side. It's really hard with.
I was looking in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this doesn't have the light directly on it, but yeah, there we go.
You can kind of see it. It's very pretty
because
it does just look like a black stone at first glance, really.
Oh, I love this thing. But obsidian is like a very protective stone, which is why I brought it today. And then it's being held up by my 3 gargoyle little stand.
The Gurgs.
They're protective too. So we got a lot of protective stuff going on just in case.
Oh, I think I maybe knew that at one point, but I didn't, it wasn't clicking.
Yeah.
Maybe I learned it and then forgot it. I didn't realize, I guess, gargoyles.
Yeah.
They're protective.
They do.
It makes sense why they would be like on the
outside of
forever.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I used to have a gargoyle outside my front door and I pat it on my head. It lives at my friend Brittany's house now.
I love it. I love it.
And then we, of course, have the super evil Ouija board. That's not a Ouija board. It is a cutting board. So Caitlin is safe. There's no planchette to go with it. Which I believe Ouija boards in general are not, they can't do anything unless you're trying to communicate. So if it's just sitting in your house for a decoration.
No, I agree. I think, until you actually take the steps.
Yeah.
It's an inanimate object.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
So we're safe either way, but
a herb.
And then we got a little sage bundle, smoke cleansing bundle.
There ain't nothing little about that sage bundle.
It's huge. It's
enormous.
It's got what did you say? Girthy.
She girthy.
Hefty. I'm a hefty boy.
Hefty boy.
That's so funny, that quote. I can't.
That's awesome.
Hefty boy. Oh, there might be a Patreon bonus. There's like some little extra stuff that I just didn't, because it turned out to be 9 pages, which is
wow, yeah, that's long.
I think the longest one I ever did was like 10. So 9's pretty long. Usually it's like 7, 8.
Yeah. I feel like that's like pretty solid, like lengthwise for kind of the format that we use.
I just had some opinions.
We've got a couple of like little mini-sode things too from like episodes that have already been out now that like hopefully we can get to.
Yeah.
Maybe not today.
Patreon bonuses, man. We have them planned, so get ready. Okay.
All right.
Should we go?
Should we go?
Should
Yeah, we
we
gotta go.
finish our blood and get out of here?
Yeah.
Have a creepy ass day. See you next Tuesday. Unless you're possessed by the demon or Jesus.
Unless you bring a Ouija board to my house and want to play, because then you're uninvited.
Okay, I mean, I brought the Ouija board and I want to play it. I just know that
but
it
you're
won't
not going
happen.
to. Yeah. No, thank you.
I'll get her to do one.